Good afternoon, somebody. How you doing? Permit me come your way with another episode of our afternoon Travail. In fact, have a very lovely and wonderful day, wherever you're joining us from, and wherever you've chanced on this video or this episode. I want you to stay in tune with us. Before we start releasing some serious and some missiles into the atmosphere and some hot prayers, I want us take our exhortation so the power of Elohim can bend certain things from us. Somebody, you come with me to book of 2 Samuel, chapter number 11. In fact, we have been dealing with series of topics in there. But there is one aspect I would want us to do. And the title I'm going to talk about is the tin. The tin. Somebody would ask, what tin is he talking about? What tin is the man of God talking about? And you come with me to 2 Samuel chapter number 11, verse 27. And I read. And when the morning was past, David sent and fetched her to his house. And she became his wife and bare him a son. But the thing, that is what I want you to underline. But the thing that David had done displeased the Lord. Somebody, the preamble to this text is very simple, and I know all of us can offhand, say it. That was when David killed Uriah because of Bathsheba. Somebody, I don't know. It is easy to conceive evil thoughts. Somebody, I don't know. It is easy to have some ill perception about something. As human as we are, as human being as we stand for, we can easily harbor pains, and that will lead us into something. And I could hear something that don't allow your erection give you direction. Do you know what happened to David, the king? He was just at the top floor, looking into the skies and looking around in town just to see what is going on. And the big men usually do that. You see them in their second floor or their third floor in their story building, enjoying some, wind and looking into matters. And Bible said David chanced on Bathsheba's nakedness. That is why anything you see that would inform your decision, you got to be careful. And out of that, David said within himself, and Bible scholars are saying that at that moment, David was within his mid-50s. So David wanted to test. David really wanted to test his potentiality. The thing that David did. What thing are you doing? You are losing because of now the riches you've got. You're losing the same God that sent you there. You've started forming certain principles and certain philosophies, challenging the fact that some God exists. Let me tell you, we live in a world we have no control of. We live in a world where we don't know where the next even moment holds. We live in a world where whatever we acquiring shall pass away. You don't know who would even stay in that house you're fighting for. You don't know who would even enjoy that car you've invested in. You don't know. The next moment, you don't know. Somebody, you don't know where you would even die. You don't know what will even kill you. You don't know what will happen into you. The next moment, we don't know. So I always say that we live in a mystery world. So, because there are so many things hidden to humanity. Now, let me come back. So the 10, verse 27 and the B part says that the thing that David did that displeased God. in your sight, it can please you. But ask yourself, does it please God? Is it a pleasing one? Is it a pleasant one in the sight of God? That thing you're doing, that perception you formed, that thing you are being, that principles you have built, and you going on your daily endeavors with that. The question is, does it please God? When we get money, we forget ourselves. David killed Uriah and went in for Bathsheba as a wife and bare to him a son. And the Bible said that thing displeased God. You are doing a whole lot of stuff. Carry on with all your endeavors without looking back, without considering any decision that comes to mind. You want to dispense it. Anything that comes to mind, you want to go ahead and carry it. Fair enough, go ahead, do it. You don't consider humanity. You could take any wicked decision against humanity and you think it's fine. Go ahead and do it. But ask yourself, is it a pleasant one in the sight of God? I don't know. Maybe things are working against you. But I came to tell you that make sure that your actions and inactions become a pleasant one in the sight of God. Come to think of it, after that, look at the repercussions that mounted upon David. Have you thought about that? We are going to release some hot prayers this afternoon. We are going to pray. In fact, we are going to speak into the atmosphere that may the Lord guide our steps, that whatever step we're going to take must be a pleasant one to God. Because if God praises what I mean, if this God accepts whatever you're doing, human principles and human decisions may work against you, but there is a God, there is a God, there is a God. When he speaks, every protocol becomes silence. Somebody, I came your way to inspire you that watch your principles, watch your steps, and make sure whatever steps you're taking, and make sure however way you're dealing with humanity will promote human life, will help humanity, and will be a pleasant one to God. Trust God and trust in this God. And make sure that it will be a pleasing. Because the moment something becomes unpleasant, I always tell people in authority that you got to be careful how you manage 3 P's. Only 3. Power, prestige, and peg. The peg I'm talking about, that is when you have been pegged at a certain stage where you think you're untouchable, where you think nothing can turn you down, nothing can override you, where you don't have anyone to speak the truth to you, where you have anyone, where you got no one to point out your weaknesses to you. Power. It will corrupt you. Privileges. You are enjoying privileges. And you tend to even forget those who pegged you there. You eat and tend to forget those who are working for you. I came your way. These 3 things can eat into you and you become swollen-headed, and that will be your doom. Bible said in the book of Proverbs that pride goes before destruction. The 10 David did displeased God. What thing are you engaged in? Is it wickedness, machinalization, false allegations, falsehood, projections, evil projections, conspiracies, and casting wrong insinuations? That has been the order of the day, even in Christendom. I came to speak to somebody. I don't know, but there is a God who comes to our rescue. The thing David did. What thing are you doing? There is something you are doing you got to guard against. There is something you are doing you should be mindful of. Should I keep mentioning them? You know them already. I don't think it is my duty to enumerate them. I don't think it is my duty to list them. But permit me navigate my way through and tell you that, look, there is something. You know it. You know yourself more than I do. Man, know thyself. If David realized his weakness, I don't think he would have got to where he got to. But he forgot himself. There are things, when I ponder on Joseph's story, Joseph fled and left his garment in the hands of Potiphar's wife. There are things when you see you don't watch it again. There are things you see you got to run away. There are things you don't stand there and play with. Don't trust yourself that much. So you see anything and you would want to confront it. Look at what happened to David. Upon all the women he had, yet Uriah's wife caught his attention, and that brought on board a whole lot of ill conception. Never compromise your conviction. I pray that God will never allow us. I pray that God will never watch us. Compromise our convictions. I came your way that there is something you need to present before God. There is a thing you are doing. Bring them before Him and tell Him, help me. Take it out. Refine me. And let me believe in your righteousness. Establish me in your righteousness, but not to establish me in sins and human perceptions and philosophies. Somebody, let's peg here and start lifting some prayers. I love you. I am your man, Reverend Father Grant Esuman, the Great Commission. Christ loves you, and let's continue trusting in Him. Join me as we jump into our afternoon travel. And I know heavens will hear us. God bless you and bless you. Cheers. Bye-bye.